For the past couple of years, I've been reverse engineering the Linux kernel, version 2.26, since it is a couple of years old. I've stripped out all the 32-bit code, stripped out all the everything but code needed to run the AMD processor. So it'll only run the AMD processor. And it'll only run the hardware in this one machine. I've stripped out all the other hardware. I just wanted to see, what it takes to run a machine, exactly what kind of code. So I want to get down to the bare minimum. I'm at my Lilo screen now. I use a 64-bit Linux from scratch system to compile it on, which I downloaded from their website. So I'll go in now and I'll show you the process of making my code. It only takes about 2 minutes to make. And I'll go ahead and boot into the Linux from scratch system. It takes a couple of seconds to boot into it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to migrate to my modified kernel folder. There's the folders. I have a architecture folder. I stripped out everything but x86. I still have a block folder. The drivers, file system, I use the ext2. I've stripped out all the other file systems. They include files, the init, kernel, live, memory manager, the scripts, and the security folder, and everything else I have stripped out. So, it's a pretty minimal system right now. So I'll go ahead and make it for you. Type in make it. It'll take a couple minutes if you want to come back. That's fine. It's just making all the files right now. It's going to build everything from scratch, just like the real kernel. I did take out all the menu items and everything like that because I pretty much know where all the code is. I don't need to go through the menus. I'm getting some warnings for unused variables. I've got to go back and clean up all the code. I'm just still working on it. It'll be another minute or so before it finishes. I've stripped out all the network stuff because I'm going to probably download that from the newest kernel and try to maybe implement like IP tables into it or something like that, so I can know. I want to monitor every packet that's coming in and out of my network, and I also want to monitor, all the data flowing from my processor just to see, I want to see what's going on with all the hardware. There's a lot of firmware and stuff that run on these machines I don't know anything about, so. In order to get a truly secure system, you've got to know all the hardware too. So I'm hoping that if I do this, I can monitor all the memory, I can monitor all the hardware and the network, and see everything that's going on. So it looks like I'm coming to the end. This is like I said, it is a multi-core processor machine that's running on. It will support that. So we have built a kernel now, and I'm going to go ahead and run Lilo and update the master boot record. And this only takes a couple of seconds. So we've updated the boot record. Now we're ready to reboot into the minimal kernel. And it does run on I boot into a busybox system. That's what I use as my, I really don't know that much about busybox, but that's what I use to boot into. So we'll go ahead and boot into the kernel partition. And you can see here I've redone all the logging, because we're trying to track a bug, so I had to redo all the logging, try to find out what was crashing. So you get a couple of errors here. It says dev null is not found, even though I have the null node created. I haven't gotten around to figuring that part out. But we're at the new login screen for the minimal kernel. See, it only takes a couple seconds to boot up. We log into the bash prompt. It gives me another error. I haven't tracked that one down either. We're going to go to the main partition folder, and you can see there I have all my folders there for the I guess you could call this the file system. Really haven't gotten to this part yet, but it runs a busybox. I think it's using ext2. I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about that, but in the bind folder you can see some of the programs I have in there, and you can see the busybox right there at the top. And then I have the basic grep controls and the some of the older programs, and my proc folder. There's nothing in my proc folder. I've stripped out all that stuff. I'm going to be using my own memory management system, so I'm not going to use proc at all. You can see in the dev, there's the dev null right there, so I don't know why I'm getting that error. Maybe, I haven't figured that part out yet, but you can see I don't have any hard drive nodes either. It boots straight into the partition somehow, and I don't know, I haven't tracked down why it's doing that, but maybe it's getting something from Lilo when I boot up Lilo. I've still got a ways to go, but there is my minimal kernel system. It only takes a couple minutes to build. Runs on AMD 64-bit multi-core systems. And I still got a ways to go for what I want to get done. But if there's any suggestions or comments, I'm sure somebody else has done this, but this is what I like to do, so I'm going to keep down this path and keep learning. If anybody has any questions, just message me. And we'll talk to you all later.